if you think just virginity in general is seen as something valuable today.
Oh no, no.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Flat out no.
You're like,
Nothing valuable. There's nothing valuable. Well, we can't do an absolute, of course, but there's nothing valuable about your virginity at all. Women have lost their value so much. And I think a lot of them don't even understand what that means. Like when I say women, we have to get our value back. They don't really understand how to get it back. A lot of them want to. A lot of women do want to be have value, but they don't even understand what happened. It's just like they're just living, going with what we call the norm. Doing
yes.
what this person said. Oh, I hear so many people tell me all the time, hey, look, this is reality. So this is what you should be doing. Really? Well, I don't quite agree with that reality. So that's not what I'm going to do. So yeah, I think it's a lot of, we just don't know. We got to back up and slow down a little bit.
So you would say women do not value virginity. I mean, I think that's pretty clear based upon just the evidence and what's really promoted in popular culture today. Would you say though that men do?
I would say that men would say that they do, but this is gonna make a lot of people mad. Even for a man, having sex before marriage is still sexually immoral.
Mm-hmm.
So, do they?
A lot of men do. Well, you know what? Okay, that's
listen to what I just said.
Wait,
even though they would say that they do want a virgin woman, but the reality of it is still sexually immoral even for a man to have sex before marriage. So do they?
Oh, so you're saying so do men value virginity based upon their behavior? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, they say they want one, but how do you know what I'm saying? We moving as though, that's going to be somebody else's woman. That ain't going to be mine. I'm going to find the virgin, but it's still sexually immoral for even a man to have. I know we have a double standard. I'm not dumb to that. I understand and I get it, but the rules still apply. It's still, it's sexually immoral even for a man to have sex before marriage. And I'm not judging any one of them. It happens. I'm not, but it does. So do they really, or are we just saying things?
Well, I think, in this, if you're going off of just modern culture, I think the evidence is pretty clear that everything's in the trash can. The whole dating market is in the trash can. The way women treat themselves and present themselves in the trash can is in the trash. And I think men too are just like following suit, because to a certain extent, what do they say? Women control access to sex and men control access to marriage. I still believe that to be very true. So we see where that is all gone. Now, if you come from a more biblical aspect, which I know you and I try to, absolutely true. Like, I think, I've always held the point that anytime a person isn't disciplined sexually, it's going to impact them, men or women, right? Now, I think it especially impacts women in a particular way because of just how we are biologically. And I know this is where sometimes people will get in debates. Some guys will say, well, look, polygamy was in the Bible and men had multiple wives. Yeah. So I'm not there to debate you. I'm like, that absolutely exists. And I'm not a theologian. So I can hear you if you want to make that argument. But I'm just saying, as far as at least today in the West, in this system where you have one man and one woman who can be married legally, and then you have the implications, especially for women, of different men going in and out of their body before they walk down the aisle. I'm like, strictly from a biological standpoint, let alone emotional, spiritual, that's going to impact her. And it usually does negatively. And that's the stuff that I really take issue with, because it's like it's shoved down our throats as women. I can think of anywhere from when I was a young girl up to now, and it's like consistently being shoved. Like you're missing out on something if you're not exploring yourself, if you're not having casual sex, if you're not, finding yourself in the context of these different sexual escapades with men. You're missing out. Like, that's the message that we all got, and I just find it flat out problematic and flat out wrong. And there's so much negative that comes from that. And yet I think there's a constant need to try to downplay that.